Alright, alright, alright. That sounded kind of awesome. Let's do it again. Alright, alright, alright. Gonna do a review, double review today. Alright, alright, alright. How do little Matthew Macounghey? What's going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a great weekend. I just saw a double feature today, so I'm gonna be doing a very first. Don't expect any of it, but we are gonna do a double feature today. We're gonna do a double review of Goosebumps and Crimson Peak. I'm very excited to talk about both, so let's get into it because I really want to talk about it. Let's start off with Crimson Peak. Crimson Peak is directed by Guillermo del Toro. He is famous because he has directed Blade 2, Pan's Labyrinth, which is my favorite of his, Hellboy 1 and 2, Pacific Rim, many others. He is a great visualized director, kind of like the inspiration of Peter Jackson and George Lucas if they made a baby. This also stars Matthew Macounghey, Tom Hiddleston, my favorite actress of all time, Miss Jessica Chastain. And it is a horror film. I really wanted to see this. I was very excited for this movie. I love horror movies. As you guys may tell, The Shining is my third favorite movie of all time. So seeing this movie, I want to do horror someday. I was very excited. It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And I'm going to be honest, I was very disappointed. I don't blame the film at all. I don't blame the way it is looking. But I'm going to be completely honest, I was very disappointed. Look, I love Del Toro. Pan's Labyrinth is one of my favorite movies. He knows how to do a good movie. But when it comes into directing in the best way possible, I don't know, we're going to go into it. Well, first off, let's talk about the film. The movie is visualizing stunning. What the movie is about is this is about a girl, Mia Macaulay, if you could say her name right. She gets married, marries Tom Hiddleston, and they move into a new house, but what they don't realize is the house is haunted. There's a lot of rules in the house, and it's basically a haunted house. It's like going to somewhere where you don't know where you want to go, and it's freaky as hell. Obviously. No, honestly, I went into this movie with a lot of hope, hoping this movie would be good, and honestly, I was very disappointed, to be honest. I knew that this movie could have something going for it, or it could totally not. And the movie is visually stunning. I am going to go out there, and as the best thing about this movie is the movie is visually stunning. This is a very good-looking movie. It's like The Shining, though, because it's so good at showing the blood and the gore. And the movie's not even gore. This movie is very gory, but it shows the haunted scale with the cinematography beautifully. Guillermo del Toro really shot this one together really great. Tom Hiddleston was great. Jessica Chastain, who is my favorite actress, she is the best part of this movie, and that is the best thing about the film, because she is very good in the movie. I really did not like how the trailers projected her character, though, because they gave way too much away, and that's what I cannot stand about trailers, because I didn't want to watch this trailer, but I got it when I saw a movie earlier this year, seeing the trailer, and I was not happy. Now, saying this, Mia Macounghey, who I think is a very good actress, she just needs a good movie. I didn't like her main character. I didn't think her main character were needed in this kind of film. I thought she was very off-putting for her character, and I didn't like how her character was like this. This movie felt like The Village, where you know this is not a horror film. This is an erotic love story, and it kind of took away a lot of it. And it was very off. The second half, when the last 20 minutes were great, but the movie was so boring to me that I just wanted to get up. I got up twice to go to the bathroom during this movie, and I never really do that unless the movie's really long, except for Interstellar, which I hold it for 3 hours. It's off-putting. This movie was very boring, and I really don't like when a movie's that boring, and that's the biggest distraction from this movie, because the movie is shot beautifully, the movie has a lot going for it, but in the end, it's just a big disappointment, and I'm very sad about it. I'm going to give Crimson Peak because of the way the movie was shot, it's a beautiful movie, it's shot physically great, and Tom Hiddleston and Jessica Chastain's performance, but because the movie is so dull and so gory that it doesn't have to be, I'm going to give Crimson Peak a 2.5 out of 5. This is a very disappointing movie, and I don't blame anybody who did this movie for it, but I wish they could have done something better, and that's why I give the rating. Let's move on to Goosebumps. Goosebumps. I do not know who directed this movie. I feel bad. It stars Jack Black, the young boy from Alexander and Terrible and No Good, Very Bad Day, many other actors. The boy from Super 8. And what this movie is about is a young boy and his mother move into town into a new city, and basically the next door neighbor is this young girl. Her father is R.L. Stine, who is Jack Black. And I have said this before, and I want to say this again. If they ever do a movie on me that does not look like me, I would want Channing Tatum or Matthew Macounghey. Don't judge me. I do. I really want it. If I want anybody to cast to play an older version of me and when I win an Oscar, I want Matthew McConaughey or Channing Tatum. I love my life. Anyway, Goosebumps is a movie about a young boy and his mother moving to town, and what they realize is their next door neighbor is Jack Black and his daughter. And when one of their friends accidentally opens a book, a little manuscript, everything comes to life, and Slappy the Dummy, who is from this, basically releases all of the monsters, and they have to go stop them. Now, I know a lot of people who love Goosebumps, who grew up with the show. I grew up with the show. I grew up with reruns of Goosebumps and reruns of Are You Afraid of the Dark. I loved Nickelodeon when it was around my age because I grew up around the late 90s and 2000s. There was a lot of reruns on Nick before on Nicktoons. I remember watching a lot of Saturdays, going to watch and watching the show, and I really loved Goosebumps for what it was. My favorite character is probably, I think it's the snowman, or whatever his name is, the Abominable Snowman. I love that story. It was probably my favorite book and my favorite movie because I read those books religiously as a kid. I loved reading them in school. And how was the movie? I thought the movie was honestly gonna suck. All the trailers were making this movie seem to be terrible. In the end, Goosebumps was actually good. I enjoyed this movie. I had a fun time. This is a cheesy little fun movie that people are all gonna say, I had a fun time with Goosebumps, and I really enjoyed what it was. Now, are there problems? Yeah. The CGI is not as great as I want it to be. There were parts where the snowman didn't look realistic, and it looked like stuff like that. But the movie is fun. I love the character. The young boy from Super 8 was hilarious. Jack Black was great. This movie has a lot going for it from the greatness and silliness that it's trying to be. Slappy the Dummy was so fun. But the movie does try to be too much with the CGI, and that was the biggest problem in the movie. The movie focuses too much on the CGI, and it loses what it is, and that's my biggest problem with the movie. But the movie still knows how to really attract good audiences, and I give it that because I really enjoyed the film. And I really enjoy what this movie was. And honestly, that's how I'm going to say it. The movie is great. I really enjoyed it. I have really no problems as much as that with the CGI and the way the story is constructed in the second half. As surprising that I was, I'm going to give Goosebumps a 3.5 out of 5. This really surprised me. I had a fun time with it. Is it better than Bridge of Spies? Probably not, but whatever. Is this a movie I'll buy? Probably. I might just buy this movie so I could entertain a lot of my friends. This is a good little fun popcorn flick. Guys, check out Goosebumps if you have the chance. If you have seen Goosebumps or Crimson Peak, tell me what you thought down below. And new old movie series is reviewing. It used to be an old thing I did on my old channel. We are coming back this week in preparation for Spectre, the new James Bond film. I will be reviewing all 3 of the Daniel Craig Bond movies, starting with Casino Royale, one of my favorite movies of all time. Look forward to seeing that movie later this week. Look forward to that review. It'll be out later this week. As well as the Star Wars trilogy. I will be re-reviewing all of them on my channel. Looking forward to getting that done in November. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys on Monday because we're going to be talking about the freaking Force Awakens final trailer. See you guys then. Have a good day, guys. Bye. Alright.